Just because this girl is a believer, she believes in God, she serves the church, and she's a good woman, doesn't mean you should marry her and pursue her. I'm gonna explain a quick story on this girl that I dated for a little bit, and she was my first Christian girl that I dated. And I learned a lot in that relationship on what I wanted in a woman, but most importantly, what I don't want in a woman. The most important thing that I learned in that relationship was that if she does not submit to my mission and the assignment that I'm given by God, she's not the woman for me. When I was dating this girl, she worked in tech, very well paying job at a very high profile company, and she made a lot more money than me. And at the time, I was starting up my dog training business. I was making like 5 grand. I was making like 6 grand here and there, but I was still starting my business, working my butt off, late nights, early mornings, and just grinding. And we would go on these dates, and I'd still have to take care of the bills. I don't mind that. But I noticed that she never really picked up the bill or wanted to do things that I want to do as well, right? So mostly on her agenda on what she liked to do. So I catered to that quite a bit. I don't mind that. But for someone who's trying to build something, and I believe that this is what God gave me, I needed to go through with what God planned for me. And she thought it was a joke. And what really hit me was it hurt my identity. It hurt my identity on, am I worth it to this girl? Am I just a joke to this girl? Is the assignment that God has for me a joke? And the enemy was attacking me on what God had planned for me. And I questioned this. I prayed. I was like, man, I don't know. I want to be with this girl because not because she's just a Christian, but seemed like a good girl. But I also just disregarded a lot of red flags. And I believe that you should have good people around you, wise counsel that can give you advice on these things, because if you're in the thick of it, you're struggling, you're thinking through it, you're have these self-talks, you have the enemy talking to you, and you're trying to distinguish what God is trying to tell you and what you're trying to tell yourself and what the enemy tells you. And so I struggled with this for a couple days, a few days, and because I've already had experience with dating, I'm like, I'm gonna cut this off. And the one thing that my friend told me was, if she doesn't believe in your mission, then if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. If she does not believe in the mission and it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. And so I took that to heart. I was like, man, I don't think she believes in the mission. She makes jokes of it. She puts me down in terms of my income. She's like, how long are you going to be doing this type of thing? 3 years, 4 years, how long are you going to stick with it? And I said, this is what God gave me. So you're going to question what God gave me and just put me down and question my worth and question my identity? Nah, bump that. And that's when I decided to break it off. We were planning to date for 90 days to see if we actually were meant to be, right? We took dating to be a serious thing. We were dating to be official. We were looking to be official, to be engaged, and engaged to be married. That was the plan. And we couldn't even make it through almost 30 days. And I was like, all right, I'm so glad I dropped it off. Most guys would just stick it through just because the girl is a good girl. The girl treats you good. The girl is a Christian, believes in God, goes to church, is a godly woman. But there was a lot of red flags in that relationship that I learned. Not just because of this assignment that God has given me and that she questioned it and that she put me down for, but I just disregarded so many little things that were also important that I didn't know. And mind you, this is my like first relationship as a believer, that's just trying to get into the word, that's trying to serve God, that's trying to love God, trying to worship, to now dating a Christian who's been a Christian her whole life, knows their Bible, goes to school for it, went to school for it, and has huge convictions on like different topics. Um, and I was like, bro, I'm conflicted here. And so that's why it's so important for us men to be one in our word, spend time with God, pray for God to reveal things about us and know what he has told us, right? Told us that we are child of God, that we are holy, that we are separated, and each person has a different relationship with the Lord. My relationship is to be called to be a dog trainer, to minister to my clients. And he's confirmed that every single month. So I'm going to take that. And if one girl's going to question my identity and my mission, that's not going to get me closer to God. Right? I want a woman that's going to get me closer to God. I feel like a burden to God, to be honest. I feel like I came to him with all these problems, which we should. We should be vulnerable. We should be honest and asking the Lord help. But man, that relationship, one did get me closer to the Lord, but it didn't help both our relationship grow together, if that makes sense. And so for us godly men, we should be having a woman look at our career or the mission that God has for us and should be our helper, should be our cheerleader, should be supporting us in what we're doing. Like I personally need a cheerleader. I personally need someone that I can just go up to and ask for support, ask for comfort through the dog training business or my next assignment, whatever that looks like from the Lord. And so I believe that you should be avoiding women, Christian women, women in general, that do not support the mission, that do not support what God has for you. If she doesn't like what you're doing, being a bass player in an orchestra, or being a missionary or a pastor, bump that, bro. You need a person that's going to go through the thick of it. I've been praying for a woman that would like to go to war with me, right? That is my person in command that can help me in this war. Go to battle with each other. Man, that's someone I want to go through life together. And so that was something I wanted to share with y'all. That was something that the Lord had called me to share and shoot this video for y'all, because I've been thinking about relationships, and he's reviewed a lot of things about, how I deal with conflict. And it's so important to spend our time with God for him to reveal things deep in our hearts that have been buried down inside. And so hopefully this was encouraging. Hopefully this was a helpful tip for you. And if you want to know more on my own revelations in relationships, friendships, community, anything with God and Jesus, leave a comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking through to the end. See you in the next one.